Hello, and welcome to the 2020 West Coast Dowsers Conference and to our Harmonizing Your Evolutionary Path workshop. I am Diana Borges, and along with Joachim Wippich, we are your presenters for the workshop today. First off, Joachim will be up speaking to you about harmonizing, balancing yourself and your evolutionary path. And then I will come back on and speak to you more about your evolutionary path, yourself, and we will end with an experiential journey to step into your future self and see how you got there through your path. So I turn this over to Joachim now.
Hi, I'm Joachim Wippich, and welcome to the 2020 Dowser Conference. And I'm here to share my wisdom and knowledge with you. I would like to start at the beginning. You put out your hands to your left and right. And the women, I invite you to rethink with me. My left brain and my right brain join together with my heart. And then repeat, my right brain and my left brain join together with my heart. And for the men, you start with the right brain first. My right brain and my left brain join together with my heart. My left brain and my right brain join together with my heart. And then you pause a little bit and let it really absorb within yourself. So you come into harmony with your own disharmony. And I want to explain this harmony to come into disharmony because many people don't really understand what I mean. We're living in a disharmony world, and all I really do is invite you to come into harmony with your own disharmony. And then I'm inviting you to please repeat with me. I am one of the most amazingly delightful thought creation I know in this universe. I am, and then you say your full name. I'm Joachim Wippich. I am 100%. 24/7. I am 24/7. So my dowsing experience is 40 years I did this, and I was introduced by Bob Mahaney and Pete Warburton. Maybe some of you know these people and some of them not. Anyway, so I share with you over the years the dowsing experience, which I dowsed myself and improved my health tremendously. I'm healthier now than I was many years ago. I was a really sick puppy, and my wife thought I wouldn't live this long anyway. I just turned my birthday, and I'm 87 years of age, and I'm in pretty good shape. So, and you can start dowsing, and you probably have already experienced dowsing. And what I found over the years is to be very accurate in dowsing. So we have to select the words we use. For instance, if a person comes to me and says, could you help me with my pain I'm having in my physical body? Then I said, well, I would recommend not to say this, because if you do this, you're reinforcing the pain. But if you say there's an activity of pain within my physical body, either in my shoulder or in the leg or whatever, and then douse what the percentage is, say from 0 to 100, you can start and say, the pain level in my physical body is 100%, and then you get a no. Or you get 10%, or you get 20%. So you can douse this in percentage. And then you say, this pain I'm experiencing in my physical body is self-induced. And then you get an answer, either with your pendulum or with your L rod. And then, say for instance, it's not yours, but it's somebody else's. So they're coming to you for help, but we do not recognize that somebody needs our help. Then you find out who this person is or where this person lives. So then you can say, this is a friend, or this is a family member, or acquaintance, or just some thoughts. And many, many times, thoughts come in and would like to have your help. Then you douse and see if these thoughts were generated by your left brain or by your right brain. And if you get a no, then you can go and find out who this is. And if you cannot get an answer, then I'm inviting you to say, I'm giving you my permission to rethink all of my harmony affirmation. And I'm gifting you all my harmony affirmation. But by saying this, you harmonize, they harmonize themselves. And in most cases, the pain get less. And then you say, there's something I missed. Then you get either a yes or a no. And if it is a yes, then you find out what else you can do. And by doing this, you can use an L rod. This is a small L rod I use. I designed this for women to put into her purse, or when they can put it in the car. Then I also have a larger L rod, which I also designed and built. And then for traveling, I have another L rod. So I have 3 different tools, plus I have some pendulums, which you can also use. And this pendulum is modified, it's very powerful. And I have one which generates BG3. This is very, very special for arthritis people. It's really very beneficial. Okay. So say, for instance, you have a problem with a person at work, and he's really a good worker, and he is pleasant and all this. But once in a while, he is really weird, and you can really push his button, or he or she puts your button, presses your button. And how to deal with the situation. First, you invite yourself to come into harmony with your own disharmony, 100%. And then you douse if this is correct. And then you invite this person and say the following: I'm inviting you to please give yourself the permission and come into harmony with your own disharmony. 100%. And if he doesn't or she doesn't do it, you can invite them to repeat with you and say, I am rethinking, rethink, I am. And you say this 3 times, then you say it 6 times, and then you say it 9 times. And then you recheck. And then this person comes into harmony, and the relationship between this person and you comes in at 100%. And then you check physically, you can talk to this person, and this person has changed, because what has happening is that their mind has come back into the physical body. And you can telepathically invite them and say, thoughts, I'm inviting you to come home and be with me. And the thoughts will come into your body, and the thought will come into their body. And then you have harmony with each other. The relationship between this person and myself is 100% in harmony. The relationship between that person and myself comes in harmony 100%. So, and then if some other people have some problems with relationships. I had several people, they have problems with their kids. They're living someplace else, they moved away, and they have a family, and all of a sudden there's no more communication, which is very sad. You are the grandmother or the grandfather, and there's no communication with the grandkids, which everybody loves. And the minute you dial their phone number and want to talk to them, they hang up right away. Excuse me. And that way, somebody was calling me. They needed my help, so I'm inviting them to just listen into it. This reminds me, last night I was watching television and they were talking about it, and I said to my wife, absolutely. And here this person on television says absolutely. I mean, it can scare the bits out of you. So anyway, so I said to this person that, with her daughter, and I said, I can pray for your daughter. Oh, she says, many people have prayed, but there's no answer. I said, do I have your permission that I can pray to her? Yeah, I'll pray with her. So I did my work, and then the next day I saw her, and she got a phone call twice that day from her daughter. And she was really very happy, and she didn't know how this works. So I explained this to her, you get your permission and invite her to come to the correct vibration frequency of her first thought creation. And then you douse till they are there. And once your pendulum or your L-rod stops, then they are at that vibration frequency. And then you can communicate with them. And they can communicate with their relative. And then once the pendulum starts moving again, then the communication is there. And then when it stops, then your work is done. And then things happened. And when I go on my trip, I have a little motorhome and I go on a trip. I was in the desert, and I met a person there. She had problems to communicate with her daughter. So I did this work with her. And then she said, I'm going to fly her out here to meet you. So she flew her out here and to meet her, and we had a wonderful time. So then the daughter left after a week. And then 5 days later, the woman comes to me and says, I'm going to leave on Saturday to go home. I said, why do you want to go home? You normally stay 2 months. Well, she said, I have to go because my daughter called me and her boyfriend quit her and she's really upset and she thinks of committing suicide. And I said, well, let's do a little session. So I did a little session with her and then she was happy and left. So I saw her 2 days later. I said, what are you doing here? You're supposed to go. She said, oh no, after you did this work with me. She called me back and said, everything is fine. So, I mean, this was 800 miles away. How is this possible? I mean, this woman was just beside herself. But this is how things work. We have more power and there's more stuff available for us if we just open up our mind and come in harmony with our own disharmony. And this is what I'm really trying to pass on, that is up. What you want to do is your thoughts, is your knowledge, is your emotional feelings. How you react to these feelings. And how do you react and believe in yourself? Your thoughts, your knowledge is very, very important. And you reach so many people by just being in harmony with all the disharmony. So every day, when you get up in the morning, you can say your affirmation. And during the day, and especially when you go to sleep, you can say, I'm counting from 1 to 3. By 3, I will be deep asleep. And then you say, 1, I'm surrounded by the light so that no negativity of any sort will reach me or become me. I will only accept this which is beneficial for all mankind and myself. 2, I will sleep 11 hours, a beautiful, regenerating, harmonious sleep. Reality actually is only 8 hours. 3, I'm deep asleep and I will wake up. And then you give a specific time in the morning, 7 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. And then you say, I'm in harmony with my own disharmony. And you repeat, I'm rethinking, rethink I am. And pretty soon you're gone. And you have a wonderful, uninterrupted sleep. And if you do this every day for a while, it will come automatically to you. If you wake up in the middle of the night for some reason, somebody needs your help, then you say, you need my help, you request my help, or you seek my help. Need my help, it's important. Request my help, it's really important. They might be really sick or in a hospital or whatever. And seek my help, then they want your knowledge. But most of the time when they seek my help, they're not waking you up for that. Most of the time is they really need your help or request your help. And then you can do this. So I don't use the words release or clear or shush him away. I just trying to bring the people in harmony with their own disharmony. And by doing this, you're helping yourself to grow and to evolve and what you came down to this planet in this physical life to establish. So for myself, I came, I'm an old soul. I came here and help people to come back into the light. And many people tell me that I made a lot of difference in their life, in their thoughts, and their life has turned around. And if you live your life the way you want to live and you're happy with it, then you're one of the happiest one. Because a lot of people are not that happy. They might say, "How are you doing?" "Oh, I'm fine." And I say, "I'm excellent for the shape I'm in." "What shape are you in?" I said, "I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm finding out more and more I cannot say this anymore. So I just have to say, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm good." People really don't like this anymore. So anyway, basically people don't want the truth to a certain extent, you know. But this is, every individual has their own opinion, what they would like to feel like or do, and so on and so forth. So if you really are feeling sad or depressed or have no energy, you can check and with your pendulum or LRAD or with your mind and say the efficiency and effectiveness of my energy on a physical level is 100%. And then you measure it in percentage. Say you measure up to 15 or 20%. Then you can say, I am my own energy, 100%. I am my own energy, 100%. And you say this a few times, and then you check again and your energy level comes up. Because by saying this, actually what happened is that your mind is coming back, because your mind is traveling. And when your mind is traveling, the mind needs energy. And the energy is taken from your physical body. So then you're draining your physical body, and your physical body needs energy also to work. So once you invite your thoughts to come home and be with me 24/7, your energy comes back. So I went once and saw a psychic, and this lady said to me, "You have the tendency to overdo things, and that will drain you." And she told me that when you see an accident or a person is very sick, and so you right away rush there, you shouldn't do this, because you're rushing into that energy which is not very beneficial. She says, step back, get yourself in first in harmony with your own disharmony, and then look at it from your point of view, what's going on, before you take on that negative energy. And I thought that was a very good advice. And that is what I'm doing now all the time. I evaluate the situation, and then I can help from there. It's not necessary that I have to touching this person. Of course, if somebody fell off the bicycle and they lie there, and you touch them and help them up, and comfort them. And last year, I go on my walk and I come around the corner, and there's a little boy lying underneath his bicycle. So I asked him if he's okay, and he was just crying. So I lifted the bicycle up, helped him up. And then I got him calmed down, and he stopped crying. And so I asked him where he comes from, and he didn't know. So, but the bicycle was pointed in one direction, so I went that way. And then I come to the next corner, and here comes a woman running, what are you doing with my kid? What are you doing with my kid? I mean, terrified, and here comes this old man and has this little kid there, and then I just explained what happened. And his little sister, she drove her bicycle too fast, and he was trying to keep up and didn't watch the unevenness in the sidewalk, and he just fell. And he was so confused. And I didn't think anything about it anymore. So on Christmas, in the evening, the doorbell rang, and here comes a man with 2 little kids. My wife goes over there, and he says, here's a little present. And my wife says, do I know you? No, but my kids know your husband. And and they told me the story, and it's just a little gift from my wife. She apologized that the way she behaved towards your husband. So these little things, it makes you feel good that what you're doing is you're helping people, without questioning. So now in the neighborhood, all the kids, they always wave and hi, so. But anyway, this is some other little story. So relationships is a very tricky situation. If a person, because of the work situation, had a bad day, and the reason we have a bad day is because we allow our mind to wander off for too long. So the phrase I use is, mind, please go to the universal mind and bring back to me what I need to know for my next step. Please do not stay away more than a minute every hour. And some people say, why only 1 minute? I said, well, you can say 3 minutes. But I say, I wouldn't do more than 3 minutes, because you might forget to come back. I said, and then what happened is you really getting drained, and then you cannot even think about why you are getting drained. So I would just go for 1 minute. And then once you do this, then you get your energy back. And another thing I do is I now open my door of knowingness, and I am inviting greater thoughts to come through in the creative form. And then forget about it. And then all of a sudden things appear into your mind. And it really gives you peace. And the stillness sets in. Even there is noise around you, but that there's a stillness around you. It's just like a meditation. And in the beginning, you probably will not feel this right away, but maybe you do. And that is a good opening when you want to meditate. Mind, go to the universal mind and bring back to me what you need to know for my next step. Please do not stay away more than 1 minute at a time, every hour. And let it absorb it, let it sink in what you just said to yourself. And then you take your pendulum or the L rod, and it really runs smooth. It's an indicator that you're fully aware of who you are and what you are. And you're connected with your subconscious mind and conscious mind. And when you say, I am open my door of knowingness, and I am inviting greater thoughts to come true in a creative form. And then stuff will come in, maybe not this instant, but either today or in 5 minutes from now, whatever. But you will evolve by doing this. So you can fulfill your evolutionary divine thought creation. So I'm inviting you to give it some thought. You are part of your own creation. And if you believe in a higher spirit, you can mention, I am evolving of the creator, thought creation. I'm aware of my consciousness 100%. Throughout my evolutionary divine God's thought creation, I am. Then you say your full name. And if you want to do water dowsing, there are wonderful classes in doing this also. And I take my large L rods and you're all familiar with these. When they cross, is your yes answer. And then you find the direction where the water might be. And then when they go to the left, then you turn around till they straighten out again. And so on till they cross. Then you put a little marker in the ground, and then come from another direction to find out where the location of the best drilling spot might be. And sometimes when you douse on the property and you have no reaction, please walk to the street and douse from the street. And then you find out that where you were on the property, it is some interfering vibration frequencies. So first you want to go then to the street and then clear the property so that the property is in harmony with all the disharmony, that there are no interfering, non-beneficial ley lines or any other thought patterns on there. And then I developed this when you drink something or eat something, put the water between your hands, the glass between your hands for 45 seconds. And after 45 seconds, you can douse and say, this water is beneficial for my entire being. The same thing is with food. You put your hands, the food between your hands, and 45 seconds, and any thought pattern or thought forms on this food will be harmonized, so it's beneficial for yourself. And you can do this with everything. When you have a headache and you lie in bed, put your elbows down and put the hands You don't have to touch your head, just like this. And you can turn your palms either way in that direction. Everything will be in harmonizing with yourself. My explanation for evolutionary path is the following. I am an energy and I'm a light. And I came to this world to experience physical life. And I'm to try to help people to come into the light, to fulfill their evolutionary thought creation. And some people also have a very hard time with accepting this. And but when you dowse and you make different statements, which I do, I use statements instead of question. Question, I get sometimes questionable answers. So I make a statement and say you're in harmony with your own disharmony, and your pendulum just barely wants to move. When I repeat, I am my evolutionary, divine God's thought creation, the pendulum starts speeding up. And your energy comes into your physical body, your spine straightens out. And if you want to use a pendulum, you can use a pendulum and measure your reaction. Or whatever you want, you use your mind or whatever. And everybody probably has a different idea what their evolutionary path is. But this is what I can share with you. This is what I believe my evolutionary path is, to establish who I am, what I am, and what I do on this planet Earth in this physical body. And if I come in harmony with my own disharmony, I come in harmony with everybody who wants to have harmony in their life. To harmonize my evolutionary path, the way I see it, I'm inviting myself to come into harmony with my own disharmony throughout my evolutionary divine thought creation, 100%. Use your pendulum or the L-rod. And your subconscious mind knows this. And the reaction of your pendulum or the L-rod is an instant validation from your subconscious mind to come and be in harmony with your own disharmony. 100%, 24/7. I am 24/7. And please say it that as if you really mean it. Okay? Just don't fly over this. I mean, this is really very meaningful to you. I am, then you say your full name. I am inviting you to say this with me. I am one of the most amazingly delightful thought creation within this universe I know. Throughout my evolutionary divine God's thought creation. I am God's thought creation. I am full name. I am Joachim Wippich. So I'm inviting you to exercise and believe in yourself. There's nothing you cannot do if you have trust in yourself. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Joachim. So I want to start out by giving you a little background for myself and why I am qualified to talk about an evolutionary path. First of all, I do hold some certificates. I am an energy healer in a few modalities, in Reiki, HeartMath, Heart Facilitator, and biofield tuning, which are tuning forks. I hold a life purpose coach certificate. I'm a speaker, and I recently am an international bestseller. And in my previous career, up until a couple of years ago, a geologist. But what I feel qualifies me the most is that I've already gone down that path, a long ways down. I'm not there because we never get there. There's no end there on our evolutionary path. But as a child, I had a few childhood traumas, one that I didn't even remember until I was 50 years old on a conscious level. So I had walled off my heart. I had walled off a lot of people. I didn't even go into my heart, so there was no way that I was letting anyone else in there, even though I was married for 20 years and I have a daughter. But by doing so, I had not connected to my true self. I was not living my authentic self. There was no way I was going to find my purpose by being so disconnected from me. So it took me a long time. It took after my divorce, changing my career as the environmental division manager for a consulting firm. It took a lot of changes, and in 2008 I finally did that and started working on me. Working on me made me a priority instead of helping other people. And along the way I learned a lot about it, but I finally have been able to step forward into my true self, to be able to get to the point where I can assist others. And my passion now is to help others find who they are beyond the physical body, to step into that soul, step into their purpose, expand their consciousness, and regain their power to help with the evolution of humanity and our planet. So I feel that's actually what qualifies me the most, because, you know, that's been there, done that type of a thing. I want to applaud everyone that is here, because you are making that step. You are making yourself a priority, and that is a requirement in your lifetime. Let's start with some basics about energy. So we are an energetic being that is living in this human body. That is who we truly are. We're so much more than just this physical being, this human being that has limitations, because, you know, our eyes can only see so much, we can only hear so much. But when we can raise our vibrational frequencies, we have more opportunities. So I want to right now help you feel your energy. If you put your hands out like this, maybe like a foot apart, you can hold them wherever you want to. Open your palms. Just open set the intent to open the palm and allow your energy to flow through the palms. So what it is, it's a combination of your energy, the universal energy, because we're always connected to the universal divine energy out there. Now, set the intent and visualize an energy ball within your palms. Okay, good. Now, move your palms in and out just a little bit. And notice what you feel. You might feel some resistance, some tingling, temperature change, push-pull, like a magnetic thing. This is the energy that is flowing through your hands into the palms. Now, if you have someone with you there, you can do a joint energy ball. So you set your palms like this, and then the other person sets them this way, and you're going to do a combined ball. So you have one person keep their hands stable, and then the other one, go ahead and move your palms in and out. And you're going to feel the ball get distorted. The direction that the palms move, it's going to elongate. So if you play with that, you're going to feel that energy, and that's who you are. An example of our energies being interconnected. If you've ever thought of someone and then not long after that you either run into them somewhere or they give you a phone call, your energy, your thoughts are connected to each other. Another example is that you might be in a room somewhere and you have felt another person looking at you. Well, that's also because your energy, you've picked up those wavelengths. So energy, the energetic world is an amazing thing, and that's beyond this actual topic. But I suggest you explore with it. Explore, play with your own energy, play with other people's energy. You know, you can put your hands along the same type of thing, but put it on someone's body, one side or the other, and feel their energy. So we have what I call reality boxes. These reality boxes are things that we hold in there, are thoughts, stories that we come forth with from our childhood, things that we believe and things that we don't believe. But our reality boxes can also hold us back, because if we're stuck in these little boxes, reality boxes that we have, then we're not open for possibilities. So I invite people to open their boxes up a little bit more and more. So just keep expanding your boxes and then finally just blow them up, because what is reality? My reality compared to other people, especially all my family members, is completely different. So reality, we create our own reality. And a lot of it is based on our childhood, especially from 0 to 7 years old, because we're in theta brainwave and we just absorb. We absorb everything that's within the family. It doesn't even have to happen to us. We absorb it on an energetic level, on our subconscious, and it stays there. If you think about how much we're told as a child from our peers, from our parents, from our teachers, and it's actually, a lot of it's not done for bad intentions, it just happens. You know, for me, I'll give you an example. My father would always tell us, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Well, subconsciously, I ended up learning to not cry. I did not cry. Not until I had my own daughter, when I wanted to become a different role model for her, and I forced myself to start crying because I didn't want her to end up like that. So that type of thing holds you back. So just expand more and more to possibilities, because the more you're open, the more you're going to see. And the divine, the universe, God, Buddha, you know, my belief is that they don't care what we call them, it. That's just a human thing here. You know, a lot of stuff is human interpretations here. And a lot of our interpretations is what holds us back too. Our interpretations are based on, a lot of times, of how it's going to impact us. What's good, what's bad. It's defined by, is it going to hurt us? Is it harmful to us? As opposed to just, it's there, it just is, and it happens. Because life is about ups and downs. And that's going to be also your path. You're going to feel like you're not progressing on your evolutionary path. But I invite you, when you're in those stages, to take a look at where you are compared to a year ago, compared to 2 years ago. And you might be surprised how much you have learned compared to even a short, you know, maybe 2 months ago either too. So let's get to your purpose and your evolutionary path. You know, we're all here looking for the meaning of life, the purpose of life. A lot of us are looking and thinking it's a big event. You know, there's something that's coming up we need to do, or It's a service to humanity. So we're always looking out there. You know, what am I supposed to do to help in the world, and that type of thing. But we first need to have what I refer to as our basic purpose. And our basic purpose is for self-evolution. And in order to do that, we have to be connected to ourself and our truth. So have the love for yourself. Have the self-understanding, and go within. A lot of us also are looking out there for assistance, but you have to do the work. It's your path, and it's your work to do. And the way I look at it is, why do you think someone else knows more about you than you? You are the one that lives with yourself 24/7. You have always been there with you. So why would someone else know more than going inside? Yeah, it's scary. I've done it. But that is where your answers are. It's within you. So get your basic purpose down, your basic purpose of connecting to you. And your bigger purpose, if you have one, not everyone does, will bring forth when you are ready. But part of being ready is being connected to you, that soul, that higher self, connected to the conscious collective that we all are part of. Evolutionary paths. Do we have more than one evolutionary path? Is there only one appropriate path? Well, we're always on an evolutionary path. We're always moving forward or moving backwards, moving sideward. We're going somewhere. It's an evolutionary path. An evolutionary path, if you look on the internet, you're going to find definitions for, there's a biological one, there's for evolution of species. But what we're talking about is that spiritual path, the metaphysical path, you know, that part, that soul, the bigger picture of who we are beyond this lifetime. And I do believe that there is a more appropriate path than the other ones that we all end up taking a detour every once in a while. And when you're in that appropriate path, that's when you're in the flow of life. Things are easy for you. Things present themselves, and you don't have to work so hard. You're not swimming upstream. When you're connected to that heart, your heart, and being in the love for yourself, that is where you're going to find that evolutionary path. And like I said, it's ups and downs. It's not just a golden road, because we're in this human body. So when we do the meditation, you're going to find a connection to that heart, to the soul, and we will expand your consciousness. So a lot of this, hopefully, after the meditation, will make a little more sense to you. So I want to give you a couple suggestions to do after the workshop. One is to write down when coincidences happen to you. Coincidences are synchronicities. They're not just chance happenings that occur to everyone. And the more you're aware of them, the more you're going to notice, and they're going to happen for you. And that is part of the divine, the universe, God, Buddha, whoever it is, assisting with us, giving us those signs for us to hear, to follow, to, you know, those little crumbs along the way. And listen to them, because they will keep coming until you do, and sometimes they get stronger. So write down those coincidences, those synchronicities, and be open to them. The other suggestion is to journal, to write down whatever it is. You know, you could look at it as a diary, but it's more than just a diary of this is what happened today. But it can be part of that. You know, I resisted journaling until I went to the Monroe Institute Gateway course, and that was part of after every exercise. And I've journaled ever since then, and that was in, I believe, 2010. Journaling accesses your intuition, accesses your subconscious, accesses that bigger picture of who you are, that energetic soul part of you who has those answers, because the answers you seek on this level are not in the brain, not in that analytical part of who we are. So journal, and if you don't know what to journal, you know, sometimes I just start writing, what do I need to know? Or sometimes actually when I was forced, I even start writing, I don't want to do this. This is silly. So you just start writing, and then all of a sudden things are going to flow. You just keep writing and stuff will just start spewing out. And then you'll get to the point sometimes when you look at it and you go, wow, where did that come from? Well, that came from that bigger picture of who you are beyond that physical body. So right now, I think it's time we'll move right into the meditation. I invite you now to join me on this meditative journey that will help you understand who you are beyond the physical body. What we're going to do is connect into ourselves first, and then we will take a journey up into the universe, expanding our consciousness. We're going to step into our future self where we are already living our purpose. We have evolved down that path. And then you're going to find out just exactly how you got there. I want you to know that when I do lead meditations, sometimes I'll close my eyes or I'll look away. And that's just my way of connecting into you more. And hopefully you won't be seeing me do that, because you should be having your eyes closed and going internally. So I invite you now to sit back and settle in to yourself by taking some deep breaths. Just feel your lungs expand. And as you release the air, just set the intent to release everything that's not for your highest good. Now just breathe in and out. Allow the body to just settle in a little more and more as you relax, sinking more into your chair. Now feel the physical heart present in your chest. Feel the beating of the heart. When the blood as it pulses from the heart through your body. There. You can feel yourself relaxing. Feel the warmth of the blood all the way through your body. We're going to go to a place beyond the physical heart, to a place where you can see a door that leads into your own heart. So I invite you to go there now and see the door into your heart. This is your heart. A place that's always been there for you and always will be. A place of much strength and knowledge, and a safe place for you. I invite you to open the door into your own heart and to step inside. Look around. Take note of what you hear, see, smell, or feel. Now ask your heart what it wants you to know. As you inhale, feel that air expand. I invite you to release everything that's not for your highest good on the air as you exhale and down your body to earth. Anything that's within the heart or surrounding the heart, let it go. The protection you may have there from past experiences, from hurt, pain, or fear. Allow your emotions to come forth to process. So you can move forward and understand. Open the heart to you. Let it go. There. You can feel a shift happening. A lightness starting to form. I invite you to allow that energetic portion of you, that soul, to be fully present within. To feel that portion of you beyond the physical. Embrace that part of you. You are part of the collective consciousness. You are all amazing beings. Feel the love, the compassion, and the patience within your own heart. Feel that for yourself, the love. Feel the warmth of the love for you. Know what that truly feels like. There's magic within that. Nurturing. You have the ability to self-heal, to self-regulate, and to self-regenerate. It's all within you. Feel your own strength and power, knowledge. Now allow that heart's energy to flow throughout your body, everywhere down to the cells and atoms. The love for you, surrounding every molecule within you. I invite you to put the awareness into the right half of your brain and just feel that portion of it. Now put your awareness into the left half of the brain and feel. Feel the back portion of your brain near the spine. Now feel the front, near the forehead. And I invite you to see the bigger picture, to expand your perceptions. Now put your awareness into the whole brain, the entire brain at once, and feel the connection within. I invite you to make the most appropriate neurological connections for your highest good. For your evolutionary destiny and your purpose here. Just feel those neurons igniting. I invite you to download from the divine the programs, the energies that are most appropriate for your highest good. Allow that information to reside on your cells, subconscious, consciousness. And anywhere else that's appropriate. Replacing any limiting beliefs, those old stories, programs that prevented you from moving forward, from being your true self. Now allow that heart's energy to flow out into your energy field, and out further into the universe. Allow yourself to expand to wherever is appropriate for you. This is who you are beyond the physical body. Feel your connection with the one energy source, with the collective consciousness. I invite you now to go into the future, to a place where you are standing in your truth, a place where you know your purpose, to a place you're doing what your heart desires. Set the intent and go. It doesn't matter how far you travel to get there. You have that ability. Now that you're there, take a look at yourself. Take a look inside and out. Have you changed? And if so, how? How does your heart feel? What are you doing there? What does your world look like there? Embrace that part, that information. Fully understand that place in your life. I invite you to turn around and look at the path that you just came on. How did you get there? What steps did you take? Know the changes. Now ask yourself those questions that you want answered. Before we leave here, I want you to incorporate everything that is appropriate for you on every level possible. Let it integrate fully into your being on whatever level is appropriate. I now invite you to take that path back to the present in the reverse order. And as you do, check off each step that you went through to make sure that you fully understand how you got there. So start coming back, bringing your energies back. Feel your connection with Earth. Your heart and Earth's heart, the core of Earth, are connected. Our energies exchange with Earth, just like with everything else around here. Let Earth ground you even more. Take some deep breaths and come back the rest of the way. Feel the physical heart within the chest again. The beating of the heart. The love for yourself. The compassion for you. The respect and patience for yourself. Take another deep breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes. So what we did is called a life progression. Many of you have probably experienced and heard of life regressions. If we can go into the past, we can go into the future. Because time is a human construct, just like many of the other things here. When we go into that energetic portion of us and we expand our consciousness out into the universe, there's no time out there. Possibilities are endless when we get into that true self of who we are. So how do we understand our purpose? How do we evolve on the most appropriate evolutionary path? It's by going inside. That's where it starts, because those are the answers that we are seeking. It's in there, and we already have all that information. We thank you for watching and hope that we have been able to help you better understand your divine evolutionary path. Know that you have more power than what you have been told. Open your heart, use Joachim's Harmony affirmations, and discover your true self. There is much wonder and magic waiting you. Goodbye, and again, we thank you for joining us.